Anybody having fun yet?
It's bigger than you. Okay.
Bye.
Hold on, here we go.
Welcome aboard. Sit back and relax. You are about to be taken to a place like you've never seen before. The Everglades. Your guide has an extensive knowledge of this environment and of the plants and animals that inhabit this beautiful area of the world. We will stop and spend some time in different areas to learn about various aspects of this unique habitat. There is no other area on the planet like the Everglades, and the reasons for its uniqueness will become evident as we continue our tour. One of the most unique creatures is the alligator, its most formidable predator, next to man. As you look around, you are surrounded by water. It is the most pervasive element, without which the Everglades would cease to exist. For many, life in the Everglades is life in the slow lane. Even the water can take up to a year to wind its way through to the Gulf. This vegetation coming into view is a mat area. It is not solid ground, but it's used by many animals as a substitute for land. Female alligators make their nest here. Rabbits, mice, shrews, raccoons, and many other animals, and even trees, have adapted to using this habitat in their life in the Everglades. Mammals are not the only life form in the glades. Over 300 species of birds have been seen in this fragile habitat. About half nest here. Coots are the only white-billed bird in the glades. By watching this bird's activities in the water, you would think it has webbed feet, but it doesn't. This immature common moorhen is in the same family as the coot. The adult, while in breeding plumage, displays a red bill with a yellow tip and red mantle. Moorhens also have a characteristic head movement while swimming. It is also known that they mate for life. This multicolored bird is the purple gallinoo. Although adept at wading and an expert swimmer, it prefers the stepping stone approach rather than wet feet. It walks on lily pads while hunting for insects, frogs, and other small creatures. You will never see all 300 species of birds here at one time. The Everglades changes from season to season and more subtly from day to day. Their visits are determined by the fluctuating water levels and the type of food available. Some birds fly up from Argentina to spend the summer. Others come down from Canada for the winter. Many of the smaller birds, like warblers, kinglets, and so on, are only here for a short time, using the richness of the Everglades as a rest area and fuel stop on their way to somewhere else. Many of the wading birds are year-round residents of the glades. The great blue heron is an example. This stately bird can stand over 4 feet tall on its stilt-like legs. These long legs allow it to hunt just about anywhere. The average water level in the Everglades is less than a foot. Many birds have to specialize in the type of microhabitat they live in, but the great blue heron can hunt in a large deep pond or a shallow mud puddle. This bird's excellent eyesight and quick reflexes allow it to strike quickly at its prey in the water. Although its feathers are beautiful, because of its color, it was not decimated by the plumage hunters in the early 1900s. The great blue heron is an extremely wary bird and usually hard to get close to. When it feels crowded, it can spread its 6-foot-plus wingspan and majestically take to the air to land a safe distance away. The long neck helps the bird get a good angle as it looks for its prey. Usually the prey of the great blue is a modest size, such as frogs, insects, and small fish. Sometimes, however, a fish happens along that's a little more than a mouthful. This gar is a bigger struggle to get down than to catch. Snakes are another item on the menu of the bigger wading birds. Even with all the right tools for the job, like all good hunters, sometimes you miss. And then the only thing to do is look around and see if anyone saw you, and quietly leave for an area where your luck will be better.
As we go along the way, we want you to relate to the things that we've seen. You can maybe still see that white bird over there. That's a snowy egret. The great blue didn't fly very far. It's on a feed. As you look at this Everglades system and situation, the Everglades is a very big place today, and as I go through here, I'll be alluding to different things that are happening. When I see somebody looking at something, that helps me out. I'll get to questions near the end of the narrative and at the beginning of the next stop. That's a garfish right there, and they strike on the top. They're primitive prehistoric type fish. Here come vultures, turkey vultures, red-faced
The turkey vultures that Lyle is pointing out are big, formidable-looking birds. They are scavengers, however, not hunters. Their adaptations to this lifestyle are subtle. The bald head, for example, ensures that no rotting flesh gets caught in the feathers of areas hard to keep clean. You'll never hear of a turkey vulture getting food poisoning. In flight, the turkey vulture is easy to distinguish from other large birds by its habit of holding its wings in a shallow V as it soars almost motionless. The Everglades is an unusual place. At first look, it appears flat and monotonous. That's the beauty of it. The treasures are not obvious. It's on the second or third look that the splendor suddenly appears. Your 50th glimpse will show you something you missed in the previous 49. An integral part of the Everglades is the alligator. This holdover from the dinosaur age is the largest reptile on Earth and are uniquely suited for this habitat. With his powerful, low-slung body, he can swim in the shallow water, nose through thick vegetation, or propel himself through the mud. Their powerful tails are used for locomotion when swimming and can be a formidable weapon at other times. A blow from a whipping tail can even break a man's leg. Although they have a fearsome reputation, they are very reclusive, preferring to slip away rather than face a confrontation with man. In common with many other mammals, birds, and reptiles, the alligator is a great bluffer. In common with many other mammals, birds, and reptiles, the alligator is a great bluffer. When it feels threatened, it puffs itself up to make itself look as large as it can while adapting a taller, more alert posture. This is not an aggressive move. Although it is a warning that his space is being invaded, the activity is designed to make him look larger than he really is. Baby gators start out about 5 or 7 inches in length and must learn the ways of the wild quickly or face a short life. Many denizens of the swamp think of young gators as a tasty meal. This includes larger alligators. Therefore, few young ever reach adulthood. Like the glades, gators are uniquely suited for their life. Even their nostrils are designed for ease of use. Muscles are used to close them before the gator dives. Water pressure will continue to keep them closed. Algae, bacteria, and other microorganisms find the moist mouth of an alligator to be an ideal home. The habit of these often maligned creatures of holding their mouths agape is to dry it out and help keep the growth of uninvited residents in check. The gator is cold-blooded and cannot regulate its internal temperature. They must seek out basking places in the sun to warm their bodies. The bumps and ridges along the back are called scutes. The 6 immediately behind the head are used to sense temperature. Its entire body is built for power and survival and not for grace or looks. The alligator has changed little in over 100 million years, like the dinosaurs and other primitive creatures. The Everglades are home to some of our Earth's rare or endangered creatures. The wood stork is an example. There are 17 kinds of stork found throughout the world. The wood stork is America's only one. These large birds are indicators of the relative health of the water cycles. It is felt that the improper management of water in southern Florida has resulted in unnatural wet and dry patterns.